This is a quick video to explain how you can connect to the UCSC Social Science Stats server using X Windows. So this is useful if you want to run Stata. You don't feel like just running it at a regular sort of Linux command line. You actually want to have a Stata window. So this is what Stata would look like if I ran it on my desktop. There's a window here, it can produce graphs, etc. You might want to have something like that, but having all the stats run on the remote server. So the way you do that is you need, so Linux can send graphics to an X server. So even if you have Linux running on your own machine, like your desktop sitting in front of you, it does that. It sends all of its graphics information to an X server that's also running in the background. That's useful because it means you can also have the graphical information sent to a computer on the other side of the world, for example. So have it sent from the remote server to your own computer. So here's how this works. First, you need a Windows, or I guess if you're using a Mac, you need some sort of X server application. So if you're using Windows, this one, VCXserve, is probably the best out there. If you are using a Mac, then you can Google around and see if there's something around here. I've never used a Mac, so I can't really help with that. But for Windows, this is the way I would suggest. So you get this, download, install, blah, blah, blah. And then it'll produce a nice little X launch thing here. I would go with just the default settings. Easy peasy. Now, to connect to the remote server, I typically use PuTTY. Let me just start a new instance here so you can see it from the start. So you'll have all of your usual information for logging into the stat server, and then you want to go into here, this SSH area, go to X11 and enable X11 port forwarding. That's the critical thing. All right, and then you log in as usual. And now what you can do is, so normally you would type something like stata-mp to start Stata. Instead, just throw an X in front of that. And that is basically referring to it's actually a different application. It's one that, a version of Stata that understands you have graphical information. All right. And now this terminal is now sort of decoupled from that command, which is going to start up out here in like an actual nice little Stata window, just like what we're used to. And now you just go on doing your work as you normally would, and it works like, it's not quite like Stata on Windows, so Stata on Linux is a little bit different, but basically this is the Stata that you know how to work with. All right, that's about it.